You guys are tuned to the Watch Podcast with your host, owner-operator, Eric Huggins, Night Watch Patrol. We are the light in the dark. Psalm 139, verse 12.
Today, we're on episode 40. Got patrol. Let's go.
What's going on, guys? You guys are tuned to the Watch Podcast. Today, we're on episode 40, Got Patrol. I get a lot of calls from individuals out there looking into security. They say, hey, I'm getting ready to pull the plug. I want to start my own company, and I need your help. And so a lot of security companies that are startups, the first thing they want to go for is patrol. And one of the things I always ask them is, how much money do you have right now? I have, I don't have anything. Okay. So you have no money, and you're going to just start your security company just magically out there and just vanish. I don't know, just appear and just say, hey, here I am. I'm Suck It Easy Security. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. And when you guys are starting a security company, your guys' first aspirations are to say, you know what, we want to start patrol. Okay. When we start patrol, it is a pretty much let me break it down on the patrol side. Patrol services are ideal for those clients that just really don't want to pay for someone to be on site for 8 hours. Okay, they rather just someone just pass by, provide a presence, remove any persons that aren't supposed to be there, check all the access points, check all the windows, doors, any other areas that the client's asking for you to check. You'll check them, and a lot of times on these patrols, they're not based on an hourly basis. They're based on hits. Hits is kind of like a common word when it comes to security patrols. How many times I'm going to hit this property, and so we're gonna get more into it when it comes to on the patrol side, and how do we charge, and how do we provide a good patrol route to where not only are we successful, but we're also providing good service to the clients that we're serving. So now let's get into it. Let's get into the cost. And you have to ask yourself, do you need a patrol vehicle? Okay. Let's just say that, hey, you know what? You're a little Jill Bill here, and you said, you know what? I want to start my own security company. And I want to start patrols. And you have to ask yourself, I do want to start patrols, but can I effectively do patrols at this God-given moment? Okay. And there is a financial breakdown that I'm going to give you guys when it comes to purchasing and owning a vehicle. All right. Before we do all that, okay, I want you guys to know that Patrol provides a powerful marketing tool. Not all security companies offer Patrol. Okay. I want you guys to know that. A nicely marked and professional appearing patrol vehicle will inspire client confidence and is the power marketing presence on the streets. There's always a downside to upsides, and one of the downsides would be patrol officer is constantly speeding. So let's say we have a nice patrol vehicle out there, but we got someone that's been that obsesses over patrol vehicles and police stuff and equipment, and they're going to act like they're cops. Okay. Okay. So if you guys, depending on what you guys are driving, okay, we drive police interceptors. That could be a downside to your business is giving the keys to the wrong person. Okay. But hey, you know what? We'll leave that out in the bud. Okay. The vehicle. The vehicle. I like to say that many security companies make a very, 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 very big mistake when it comes to starting their patrol company or starting their security company. Their mind is so small. So small. So small. Okay. I feel like Donald Trump for a second. Very many security company owners are very small-minded. Okay. They don't think big. They think of what can get me from A to B. Where can I go from here? They don't see past the mist and the fog. They just see what's in front of them. Tunnel vision. They purchase these small little foo-foo cars, fuel efficient, Hondas, smart cars, Toyota Camrys, Priuses, Toyota Yaris's, and these tiny little fuel efficient gosh, it took a lot to get out of me. These fuel efficient small gay vehicles do not only a disservice to the patrol officer, does a disservice to the company that you are providing security services for. They create that impression of gay. I couldn't help it. Gosh dang it. I couldn't find a better word to say other than to say gay. If anyone's offended by it, I don't know what to tell you. All right? It's gay. These little Priuses and these little Chevy Cruises and these fuel efficient cars. You want to provide a presence when you guys are patrolling these businesses, these apartment complexes that are more susceptible to crime in the off hours of the night, and you're over here pulling up in a freaking Honda, a goddamn Prius. Is that going to stop the criminal element? Is that going to stop the behavior? No, it doesn't. They look like little puppy dogs, like little poodles. You just want to pet them. Oh, it's so cute. So cute. Oh gosh. And in my opinion, okay, purchasing a retired police vehicle is the way to go. Okay. You guys get a decent paint job. You guys put some decent decals on it, and you create that impression that gives the viewer that impression. Unbeknownst to me, Black Knight Patrol has these decals. And when I first started my security company, I was looking for decals, looking for ideas, and I saw these particular decals. Didn't know who they were. Didn't even know if they even were in California. But I saw this patrol vehicle, and I said, yes, that's what I want. That's what I want to do. But I was like, but I want to go all reflective graphics on our vehicles. That way it puts a stamp on the actual word night's watch. That we work nights. We're lit up. And that's the impression that I wanted to give. And that's the impression that we're giving here in this town. And I love it. And I have no other better thanks to give it to Black Knight Patrol that actually, I guess, I don't know if they created these. I've actually seen these vehicles out in Virginia. Same decals. I tell this to everybody that there's always an idea that it comes from somewhere, and so wherever that idea came from, it's actually helping out. Now we're obviously gonna change our decals, because I did get a nasty comment that was made, and I said, what, and it made me look at it. I was like, maybe we need to change our decals. We need to make our own brand, our own person, and not feel like we're in the shadows of somebody else. Okay. But yeah, definitely shout out to Black Knight Patrol. Shout out to Southwest Patrol. Shout out to South Coast. I mean, those companies are the ones that inspire me to go out there and do something different here in Kern County that no one else is doing. Okay. Provide that presence to people where the first impression is everyone's putting their I pass by vehicles every single day, guys. Listen. And when I pass by vehicles, I see people in the front driver view and they're putting their seatbelts on. That impression that they're getting is a patrol vehicle approach. They see patrol, they see a vehicle, they see a retired police interceptor, they see a car decked out. They said, wow, this must be the police. And we want to give that impression to these properties that we're on because it stops the officer from having to even get out of the car sometimes. Me just rolling up on a property. I posted a video the other day of me rolling up on a property. And I didn't even get out. And as soon as I just drove up, as soon as they saw that aggressive push bumper, the interior lighting, they said, "Oh my gosh, we got to go." And they left so fast. It was these guys were sitting there halfway, all slumped over, and they say, "Oh," and dude, guys are sprinting down the street. It's crazy. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. And that occasion right there was the reason why I decided to do this podcast today, was because I saw what our vehicles do to properties when they see us rolling on the properties. They see that aggressive approach. They see the vehicle, and there's a lot of respect when they see our patrol vehicles. So you guys want to have a nice professional vehicle that is serving these properties. I believe that the clients that are paying us deserve it. They deserve to have a professional vehicle approaching their apartment complexes, approaching their buildings, approaching their structures. They need a solid sense of security. If they're not willing to pay for an on-site security, then they can pay for a patrol service and have a nice, routed, deeply seated security patrol company. Not none of this Prius and Camrys and all this other terrorist activities. We don't want it. It's very cringy when I see people paying for it, because they shouldn't pay for that. Gosh. So you guys decided, you know what? Hey, I decided I'm gonna own a security company, and our first ever account is gonna be patrol. Okay. You guys have to factor in the cost. How much is it going to cost you to run a successful patrol service? And it all starts from the vehicle, And when it comes to commercial auto insurance, in California, I believe when I first started, it was $8,000 a year. So $666.67 was the monthly cost for us to run 3 patrol vehicles at the time. Our patrol, my first patrol unit was $2,500. And the paint and decals for it was $1,200. So we'll do a financial financial cost, right? So I bought a Crown Vic originally for $2,500. Okay. And I know the paint and decals were going to cost. So between the paint and decals, it cost me $1,500. So all in all, I spent $400 $4,000 on a patrol vehicle. And the idea is to keep your margins low. And this provides you with the security blanket in all else fails. There's a thing called a contingency fund, right? So I had a friend that worked real estate, and she was always talking about contingencies. I'm like, what contingency? What contingency on upon whatever? And so I realized, I'm like, you know what? I could use this for security. A contingency fund. Now, it's not something that we charge the client on. It's something that we charge ourselves, but we say, you know what? Hey, and the contingency fund is we save. It's a blanket, right? And we put $2,500 in our saving account. I don't know, in a box, in a shoe, in a sock, whatever. We put $2,500 away, and it's going to help if we win a big contract, or if our insurance goes up, if we need to buy new uniforms, or if a client is slow at paying their invoices. We can use this $2,500 contingency fund as a blanket to safeguard our brand, our company. Okay. And so all in all, so it costs us a whopping $4,366.67. Okay. That was a 2008 Crown Victoria police interceptor. And that vehicle, I bought that vehicle back in 2019. We are in 2024, and that Big Bertha is running strong, my friends. Okay? Love her to death. And I've never had any significant issues with her ever. Okay? We have to remember that when we buy these retired vehicles, see, the problem is that everybody's looking at these retired vehicles and they're online and they see that these high mileages, right? Of the vehicles. Sometimes you see a vehicle, 2020 Police Explorer that has 102,000 miles on it. And you look at the comments and people are laughing and saying, oh, that's not even worth it. This and that. In realization, this car is going to last another 100,000 miles. Okay? You only need 36,000 miles for you to carry from the time that you buy it for another year before you buy another patrol vehicle. So if you can go another 100,000 miles and all you have to deal with is just the maintenance of the vehicle, the brakes or the oil changes, then you've made your money. I bought a Crown Vic, and that Crown Vic, and that's before I started my security company, but I bought a Crown Vic, and the first month that I used it, I have already made my money back. I charged an account $6,200 a month at $25 an hour. And I told him I was going to have a vehicle present. And that vehicle was my Crown Vic, Big Bertha. And Big Bertha was only $2,500. So $2,500 minus $6,200. I made a profit of $3,700 in 1 month of having Big Bertha out there, my Crown Vic, a car that I only bought for $2,500. You got to do the math. And your patrol vehicle can be a moneymaker if you're using it right or you're doing the right thing. Okay. And in the best practices, I'm going to go over the patrol routes. Okay. And before I do that, and before I talk about the patrol routes, I'm gonna let you guys know that you guys should never exceed $100. You guys should never exceed 100 miles a night. Okay. Um, and your vehicle should last 35,000 miles, and it will give you a whole year to save up for another patrol vehicle and use the old patrol vehicle as a station vehicle to provide a presence. We'll talk about that in a minute. Um, so I believe that patrol is becoming one of the most effective choices for securing residential and commercial properties. Right, patrol officers will perform random and scheduled patrols in these patrol vehicles and provide a visual safeguard in efforts to investigate and deter criminal activity. Patrol can be effective and serve as a better option for larger properties. I mean, I couldn't say that anymore, but any better. When you have these larger properties, larger industrial properties, larger apartment complexes, patrol would be the ideal thing to do. Okay. Can you offer an on-site patrol? Yeah, you can. It's going to cost you gas. It's going to cost you insurance. It's going to cost you officer hours. But it's very doable. Obviously, if you do a roving patrol, it's going to be very, very expensive to the client. And if you guys have any questions on what to price when it comes to on-site security, on-site patrols, you guys message me, okay? And I'll give you guys the link at the bottom at the end. So a lot of the responsibilities for a patrol officer is that we're going to conduct a lot of routine checks and inspections of commercial properties, residential properties, to ensure the safety and inspect doors, windows, gates, swimming pools, all other access points, laundry rooms, and we also respond to alarm calls, emergency calls as well. We can monitor locations and for any signs of criminal activity or any unauthorized access and report issues to property managers or the owners. And a lot of times that you can actually do, you can actually just monitor a laptop or computer and monitor a property from a close proximity and be able to respond in a quick and safe manner. I know that on our patrol vehicles we have computer monitors that we monitor for our client sites, and if we see anything that's that would be observed as suspicious, we can watch the video and patrol and go straight to that property and respond to it without any calls or notice or anything. So the thing when it comes to providing patrol services, the patrol drivers that you guys have to look presentable. And no untucked shirts, no pants sagging, no Sketcher wearing. They need to look professional. A professional security guard should have a nice Class B uniform with their patches, their name tag. If they're wearing an outer vest, that their outer vest is clean, and they have nice Class B pants. They have their duty belt on, and they're also wearing their boots. When I think of patrol, I tell everybody, look at law enforcement, right? Look at a law enforcement officer and say, how's he look? He looks good. Okay. Why can we not give that same impression on the properties that we're serving? And they're going to say, because we're not cops? Absolutely. We're not cops. Your badges and your stuff will show you that you're not a cop. But can you respond to these properties properly dressed, wearing nice Class B with your name and uniform and everything, and you got your earpiece on, you're listening to your radio communication? You can do that on private properties. Okay, I don't say go on the street and pull people over. No, respond to the properties that we're serving, and you respond to them as efficient as you possibly can. Jeez, gosh, you guys make this so hard for yourself sometimes. And a lot of times the patrol officer is going to act as a supervisor. Okay, whether they know it or not. Many patrol drivers will check on the on-site officers. Okay, rule of thumb is that you can never leave an on-site officer on a post. Okay, unchecked, untrained, and without the healthy fear of the patrol officer that will drive on the site at any given moment. Without a proper patrol route, you're gonna have to play as an owner. You will have to play that role personally, and that means you have to stay up late at night. That means you have to just wait till 3 o'clock in the morning, go check on my officers, and then you have to go check on them, and then you lose sleep, and then you can't solicit business during the day. What kind of life is that? No life at all. A well-designed patrol route leaves time for the officers to complete all his patrols without feeling rushed. Keeps the fuel expenses low and a fast response time whenever you get a call for service. Now, how do we create this nicely well-designed patrol route? And one, it's keeping your area small. Okay? I would say everything within a 10-mile, maybe in a 5-mile radius. Okay? If you have a property, find other let's say you had 3 patrol counts and they're within a 5-mile radius. Fill in the gaps. Find what is nearby that you can attack. You can even charge them less. Say, hey, we got patrol counts. We're in the area. We're willing to patrol it for this amount a night. Maybe they just want one hit a night for you to just go and just make a sweep, a little quick sweep. Remove all the homeless people that are there. Remove any persons there, or respond to any alarm call. That right there, just because you had some more extra room to fill in the gaps, you're able to successfully respond to a lot of these particular places. If you keep your route small, but you have many businesses and many properties nearby, okay, that could provide a new route for another patrol officer 10 miles away. And if it's something that's significant, that patrol officer that's 10 miles away can respond with the officer that's 10 miles away and can respond to some of these properties as well. I think it's a win-win, and it obviously it's going to cut down your fuel expense. You're not going to be spending as much money. You're not going to be driving so much. You're not going to be putting those maintenance. You're not going to be having higher maintenance costs. When you design when you have these well designed and well put together patrol routes, that you're not going from point A to point D, but you're going from point A to point C. From point A to point B. Okay, if you're a patrol officer and you're going from point A to point D, that company's losing money. Okay, we want to go from point A to point B and see if we can get to it. And it's a lot easier than you think. Okay, it allows the time for the officer to conduct his reports, submit his reports, to conduct his pictures, do thorough checks. A well-designed patrol count where the officer's not feeling rushed is going to provide a solid presence on these properties. You're going to spend more time on these properties. You're going to be like, you know what? I got extra 5 minutes till I go to my next account. I'm gonna go check these couple doors. You find an unlocked door. Guess what? You locked the door. You did something good. You did some good to the damn business. And now you have you have opportunity to check to see if there's any vehicles that have been damaged. And now you have a time to say, okay, around between 1:30 and 2:30 in the morning, we're having car break-ins. And now you can change your route, and say, I'm not going to go to this place first. I'm going to go to this place last. And when I get there last, that's when they're having the most break-ins. So we'll remain on site for an extra 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. It sounds like a little return investment to me. Little ROI going on. ROI is speaking to me. Very giving. I like it. But on the contrary, every well-designed patrol route can also end in a poorly designed patrol route and puts a lot of pressure on the officer. Okay. And I've gotten calls 2-3 o'clock in the morning from security guards late at night that are overworking themselves because they're doing more patrol routes, and their fear is the fear is that they're not going to be able to make it in time. That's a problem. Okay. A lot of times when you see officers that are just speeding through these accounts, you'll see that they're rushing. Okay, there's a guy that works for this company, M&S Security. Nice guy. And the guy is a nice guy, really cool guy, very experienced too. And you can every time I see him, it doesn't matter if it's summer, winter, he's always sweating. I'm like, what's wrong, man? He's like, man, I'm sorry, man. I want to talk to you some more, but I got to hit the next account. What? And that's because he's on a poorly designed account where he has way too much work on his hands. And what does that give the client? Now he's cheating himself out of the client. Now he's cheating the clients because the clients aren't getting their full attention. He's just zooming on by. Take a picture outside the window. And say that you were there. And so you're going to miss a lot of opportunities when you're speeding through these accounts. So many opportunities that are there. There's a broken sprinkler. There's other maintenance related issues. The laundry room's open. The laundry room wasn't locked. There's people in the swimming pool right now. You were too busy. You're too busy that you weren't able to check the pool area, and to remove people out of the pool. You're never going to complete your patrol reports. Your daily activity patrol reports are going to be uncompleted. You're not going to be able to visit your on-site accounts. Remember, I told you guys cannot leave your on-site officer there by himself all night because they're going to do stuff that they would normally do at home. Nothing. Are they going to find other things to do with themselves? And oftentimes, I hate to say this word, but many patrol companies, security companies, will ghost these accounts. Sirap, One. I mean, so many other security companies out there. But they will ghost accounts. You know, what I mean by ghosting accounts, I mean by getting their cell phone out, sticking it outside the window, taking a picture, and just zooming on by, saying, nothing further to report. It's all good. And come to find out that the next morning, the boss gets a call saying that several cars were broken into that night. You know, the idea of being a patrol officer is being the eyes and the ears, and to be able to say, hey, we saw a broken window. Hey, this is that. That way we can document it and we can report it. And that way it can offer, more a security presence. It creates ROI. Now they're going to say, hey, you know what? I know we said we want 2 patrols, but can we have 3? Guess what? Now you're making some more money. Oh, you know what? I realize we like you guys so much. We want 4 patrols tonight. Whoo! Come on, man. Quit playing with me. And the best practice of patrol is to fill in the gaps. Okay? Fill in the gaps, guys. You got one, you got A, and you got C. And guess what? There's a B missing here. And you can fill in that gap there. So that way you go from here to there to there. All in one go. All in one shot. You don't waste a whole lot of time. And it's great. Another best practice is to keep your patrol vehicles clean. Okay. all at all times. Okay, I don't care if you're gonna work there, if you're gonna be in that patrol vehicle for the next 3 days. It's always important to clean the vehicles because you never know. Sometimes your client is gonna pass by the vehicle, check on it, and realize that's a lot of trash in there. That's a trashy vehicle. What are we paying for? Or it's gonna offer an opportunity for someone to break into the vehicle because they see trash in there. They see trash, they might see some gold. And if you guys have a poorly designed patrol route, you guys are gonna be exposed to traffic tickets. Speeding is number one. Speeding, reckless driving, because you're trying to get to these patrol accounts in a decent matter of time. And I just tell you guys, try not to rush. As a patrol officer, it's important for you guys to keep your uniform clean. Patrol officers should always look sharp, smell good, shirts tucked in, Class B uniform, that tactical supervisory look. Okay? That is a patrol officer. That is an officer that can respond to incidents. We have these patrol companies here in town that the city and the county pay for, and they drive freaking Priuses. They're unarmed. They can't get out of the vehicle. They can't make any approaches, and they're still using them. Terrorists! We live in a red county, but we're dealing with liberal security companies. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. I'm still trying to figure it out. Guys, I tried to get as much as I could possibly get in for you guys, and I hope that this helps out for a lot of you guys that are looking into getting into patrol. It's going to help you guys help you guys navigate. Okay, where are we going? How do we get there? Okay, here's a small little tip for you guys. If you are just a newly started security company and now you want to do patrol, I'm going to tell you, focus on a on-site account first. If you have no money to save up for a patrol vehicle, I'm going to encourage you guys to work an account for 31 days or however many days are in the month. Work an account for 30 days, get paid, go out and go find yourself a vehicle, pay yourself, have someone work there for the next 2 weeks, and then after that you're gonna get but at the end of the month you'll get another check. You'll be able to pay your invoices, you'll be able to pay your guards, and you will have a nice patrol vehicle. Now, obviously, when you buy a patrol vehicle, you may not be able to afford the decals or the paint job, but you can still have it there. Okay? I still have it present. In the meantime, you can still work on any mechanical related issues that's wrong with the vehicle. And when the vehicle is ready for patrol, you take it to get a paint job, you put some decals in it, and if you get bigger, I even encourage you guys to find a local upfitter for your vehicle lights. Stop with those busted dome lights that you put on top of a vehicle. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, guys. It looks stupid. It looks cheap. And if you guys didn't know, in the state of California, you guys are required to have a marked patrol vehicle before putting lighting on it. I don't know why I see so many patrol vehicles, plain unmarked patrol vehicles in Camrys and whatever, with the damn amber light on top of it and no decals. It's illegal. Anyway, make sure you guys listen to that one. Guys, this has been real. If you guys have any questions, concerns, you guys can find us at my Instagram page at Nice Watch Patrol. Check our LinkedIn page. Check our website. Our podcasts are now listed on there on the Apple and Google podcasts. If you guys are familiar with that, we'll also be included on YouTube as well. Guys, this is real. I look forward to you guys' feedback. If you guys have any questions, concerns, contact me. Love God, love each other. Let's go change the world.